If it is or if it ain't, it's going to come out. Good morning, everybody. It's your girl, Miracle Sims, and you're listening to God, Sex, and Love. Your daily dose of inspiration, the juice. It is September the 21st, 2022, and today the topic is humility. Friends, I hope that you all had a great day yesterday. Mine was just fine. But mine was... It was a lot. It was a lot. Long story short, on one hand, I feel led to share this with y'all, especially those that listen to me regularly, because then, y'all, this will make sense to people that listen to me regularly. But regardless of that, this is a heavy topic as well. So, long story short, I guess I'm hesitant because on one hand, this isn't my testimony, fully. So I'm just trying to be careful about what I'm sharing. But if I share at least the parts that do have to do with me, I guess I would say, I told you all that that Saturday was a rough day. Saturday was a rough day. Y'all, it started off good, but it was, I told y'all I felt beat up by the end of the day, and mainly because I was in the midst of this heated discussion. How could I say? It was combative, but it wasn't like an argument, But it was the conversation of ideas and everything like that with the gentleman that I was telling y'all about. So. Yeah, and that was part of where a lot of the heaviness of Saturday came from, and then the rest of it, y'all know, was from the freelance work that I was doing. However, trying to make this long story short, y'all, I'm just so about it. So I got some unfortunate news yesterday. I got some very unfortunate news yesterday, and honestly, it kind of just shook my whole everything, to be honest. Because in some ways it was confirmation for me, right, that I guess I'm in the right place at the right time doing what God needs and wants me to do. So for that I'm thankful. But also it's borderline creepy a little bit, to be honest. Like, it's borderline creepy. And it's just one of those things where it's like, I can't make this stuff up. I did not make this up. Like, there's no way that this could have happened outside of God, and I don't know. Long story short, y'all, the gentleman I was speaking with, he reached out to me yesterday and let me know that he was in an accident. This is huge. This is a huge thing because I told y'all, I think on Monday, I told y'all that he was very brazen with his words that day. And he had even said that God can, kill me this weekend. I call on God to kill me this weekend. That's what he said in his message to me. And right after that statement, I sent back to him that I pray God doesn't honor that, And then to find out that, I guess after our conversation, that he was in an accident, I'm just like, and I'm talking about a life-changing accident, y'all. It's life-changing. Like, his life is physically changed. in regards to his body is now going to physically change. You know, I don't think again we should be playing with God in this season. Like we got to get right. Like we got to get on His business because even when I think about me, right, and being obedient and I guess being a vessel, right, in this season, um, I thought about him Monday. I think because I think I told y'all that I thought about him, but I was so scared to even just reach out to him. I really was because based on that conversation that we was having Saturday and how deep it got and the things he was saying and how brazen he was being and all these different things and I'm praying and I'm feeling the heaviness, the hurt of I would dare say the heart of God. You know what I'm saying? I'm like because. You know, like I was telling the man, like there's no way that I would feel so much love for you otherwise. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't barely know you. But what I'm saying is that like I'm just the whole day just outpouring the words of God through, you know, what the Bible says and all these different things that we were discussing that day. And for that to happen to him, um, I just I truly, truly hope that this has opened his eyes to God and God's power and everything like that, and that you know this will be a testimony for him, you know, the rest of his life that you know of a changed life. So because of that, his episode, we're probably not gonna air his episode anytime soon, um, because yeah, I'll just leave it at that. The episode that he recorded with us, I'm probably gonna hold off on it until I hear from him again, um, and we'll see about airing out his episode. But as of right now, I think we're gonna just hold on to it, and we'll maybe air it out in the future. But right now, his episode probably won't be on GSL at this time, because I'm sure he has a lot of things to figure out about life, and and I'm still kind of shook in a way if I'm being honest with y'all. I'm still kind of shook because again, there's no way that I would know this man's life. You know what I mean? Like there's no way. Even that morning when I was talking to y'all on Saturday morning, like when he told me his dream, it was like clear as day to me what the dream meant. You know, and then when he told me that he was studying about Jesus and the fact that the Lord sent me to ask him specifically about Jesus that morning, that already had blew my mind. But to find out that after he made that brazen statement, and I'm like, Lord, I pray that God don't honor that statement that you just made, and to find out that he was in this life changing accident. And I really truly hope, like when he sent me that message yesterday, I was hoping that he was playing, like I was hoping that he was joking, but he did send a photo alongside, and yeah, so we're gonna keep him in prayer. We're gonna keep the gentleman in prayer. I know I didn't say his name to y'all. I don't think I did, but um, yeah, we're gonna keep him in prayer and everything like that. But I shared this to say that this is part of where the topic comes from today a little bit. Partially because of that, but then also because of my prayer meditation this morning was centered around humility. I know before I did my prayer meditation this morning, I was thinking about every word that we say, how important that is. I also was thinking about there was something else that I was thinking about possibly talking about today. That was also inspired by this unfortunate, circumstance. Um, However, I guess after hearing, the prayer meditation centered around humility, um, I guess I felt led to talk about this today. So, with that being said, humility, the definition says a modest or low view of one's own importance, humbleness. And then the second definition I came across says freedom from pride or arrogance. Whew. Even myself, to be honest, like even myself, I am trying my best to remain humble in this situation. Because again, like someone could be like, oh, I told him so, and that's not. I don't want that to be my. That's not my intention, and whatnot. Like I said, I'm still more shocked than anything that that something actually happened to the man, and I'm glad he's still alive. He said he's glad he's still alive, and I'm like, I'm glad you're still alive too. Um, um, because again, I can't say that I knew something was going to happen to the man. All I can say is that I really truly like the biblical accounts that I shared with you all. And if you don't remember, Pharaoh and the hardened heart, and the parable about the gentleman, the rich man that thought he had time and didn't. Those two, every time I talked to that man, those two things was like heavy on my heart and mind, and I'm like, I was, I wasn't sure if I was supposed to say that to him. You know what I mean? I wasn't sure if I was supposed to tell him that. And Saturday I sent him the verses, but I never did say that something's going to happen to you because I don't know. Maybe God is working with me on that. Maybe that's something that I'm being convicted by or whatnot to speak what God tells me to speak. But outside of that, regardless, I feel like this situation has little to do with me, right, and more to do with God and what He desires and wants. And so we got to be obedient as well, right? We got to be humble, body of Christ, and be obedient. Because again, like honestly, hearing what happened to him made me think about like, what if, right, I wasn't obedient April 1st, 2020. Like, there's no other way I would have met this man if I wasn't doing this, And so, what if, y'all? Like, what if when I felt led to send him the email the last week or week or so ago, I didn't send it? What if, I didn't send him that message Saturday morning, asking him about Jesus when I felt led to? Like, there's so many things like that where it's like, that's what I'm talking about. Like, and I told him that night too, I'm like, I'm crazy enough to believe that God will orchestrate this moment. Like, and I know that, that sounds crazy to you, sir, but my heart hurts right now for you, and I barely know you, but at the same time, I'm like, I believe that God would do this. You know what I mean? And he just was so like against that idea, and then lo and behold, this unfortunate life changing situation has happened to the man, and it's like I said, I'm still kind of shook by it, to be honest. But again, let's see what else the Lord has to say about humility. So, Proverbs 22:4, it says, the reward for humility and fear of the Lord is riches and honor and life. Whew, y'all. The Lord saved his life, y'all. The Lord saved his life. That accident could have been it. And he has another day. To God be the glory. Proverbs 11:2. When pride comes, then comes disgrace, but with the humble is wisdom. Whew, y'all. I mean, the rest of my day yesterday was, I still had other things to do. I ended up filming an episode of GSL. I took the financial fitness class, and everything like that. But yeah, my day was more so engulfed in this. Again, it was life changing for him. I know, like again, it was a physically life changing experience for him. Um, but I would feel like it's somewhat life changing for me too because whew, let's keep going, y'all. James 4:10. Humble yourselves before the Lord, and He will exalt you. Proverbs 15:33. The fear of the Lord is instruction in wisdom, and humility comes before honor. Friends, I don't know who's gonna listen to the sound of my voice today. I don't know and everything like that. All I can say is let us get this in our hearts and minds to remain humble, to have some humility when it comes to God. Um, obviously it's showing me here that, the more we do that, the more He will exalt us. But aside from that, on the flip side, I guess He will humble us, right? If we need humbling, I guess we would say, So, we can go deeper with this, y'all. There's plenty of verses in the go deeper section. For believers as well, there's things to peruse and let marinate in our hearts, souls, and minds this morning. Again, I hesitate to share all of the details regarding the gentleman's testimony. I'm hoping and praying that he will have a different outlook, and that this will be a life-changing moment and testimony for him. I truly, truly do. I know we shared our jokes, our morbid, dark humor jokes, because he was kept referring to, oh well, I guess in the afterlife I'll be in hell, right, and you'll be in heaven, so I guess we won't be able to talk. And I kept telling him, I hope that, I pray the opposite, I pray that, one day we'll laugh about this in heaven. Now, granted, I mean, he goes on to have this life-changing situation happen, but and at the moment, I think I don't know if I should get too deep into like what he said. But what I'm saying is I'm just praying for the gentleman, and that I hope this is a reminder for all of us to remain humble. Again, even if God gives you a word and whatnot, seek the Lord, be patient with people, all those different things. I believe there's verses like that in the Go Deeper section that show us how to like handle those situations. Even so much so where, again, like I told y'all Saturday, I felt so beat up. I felt so like, beat up by the end of the day, by the conversation. But at the end of the day, I feel like I did what God had me to do in that moment. And, to God be the glory that the outcome wasn't what it could have been. I'll just put it like that. It wasn't what it could have been. And so we thank God for that. Little to do with me, you know what I mean? It's just more so to do with the Lord and his grace and mercy to give the man another day. So, that's all I got to say about that. Let me go to the Bible verse of today. It's Psalm 8 and 3-4. It says, when I consider thy heavens, the work of thy fingers, the moon and the stars, which thou hast ordained, what is man that thou art mindful of him, and the son of man that thou visitest him? Friends, I hope you all enjoyed this juice this morning. Thank you so much for listening to God, Sex, and Love, your daily dose of inspiration, the juice. I pray you guys can go forth and have a wonderful day, and I look forward to talking to you all tomorrow, if the Lord's will. Bye-bye. This broadcast was brought to you in part by the Single But Not Alone, Making the Most of Where You Are podcast, hosted by P. Lucinda. This podcast was created to encourage women to be who God called them to be, and to avoid the emotional paralysis of putting life on hold while waiting for a mate. Listen to Single But Not Alone, Making the Most of Where You Are on Anchor and Spotify.